Well. Paris Saint-Germain just won their fifth game of the season, fourth game in Ligue 2-0 with a very rotated squad. But there are obviously a lot of talking points in this game, depressing ones. Not really stuff you want to talk about, but we have to talk about it. So, let's go here. Where is it? Paris Saint-Germain. Obviously, Lille dropped points. Lyon and Rennes set to play later on. 12 points. Lille was the only team that could have had 12 with us. Monaco can still get 12 points, but we're already building up that cushion. 10 goals scored in 4 games. We should improve on that. 3 goals conceded in 4 games. It's all right. Look at Lyon not conceding a single goal so far. But let's go into the game. The game, I think Arsenal, obviously the best team we've faced so far in Ligue 1. Only better team we've faced this season was Spurs. And they definitely, did stuff. 1.15 XG, definitely highest we've had this season, apart from maybe the Toulouse game, but that was a little bit fugazi with the chances coming down late. 2 big chances. Luckily, they were missed or saved by Lucas Chevalier. Paris Saint-Germain having 14 shots, 6 shots on target, but only 1 big chance created for me. That was the negative part from this game. We just didn't create enough. I mean, the 2 goals, it was complete individual brilliance from this star boy that we will soon talk about again, but we need to do more offensively. We come to the individual performances and so on, but collectively, we just need to do more offensively. I mean, they had more big chances than us. And defensively, I mean, they had this one. Oh, they've marked out, I think, all the big chances like this. Yeah, so this one, obviously, from that set piece, I have no clue what Beraldo is doing. You either try to give it Chevalier's foot so he can immediately clear it, or you just clear it instead. But great save from Chevalier from the rebound. Then Edouard, I remember this cross from the right side. Lucas Hernandez has to defend that situation better. And Edson Edouard gets the shot. But apart from that, it was just some fugazi chances. Obviously, this Edson Edouard chance was a little bit big as well. 0.5 XG. It was obviously the rebound after the Thauvin shot. So, apart from 1-2 chances, I think we're good defensively. Like, Arsenal didn't create that much against us. But then offensively, looking at Ramos, he's getting service. That's an issue. If you're getting service, it's even one where he didn't get the shot off because he took such a bad touch when he dived for the penalty. But yeah, the 2 goals, I mean. The first one, Vitinha gives it beautifully to Barcola. And Barcola, he starts, waiting a bit. And I'm scared because then I'm like, oh, Barcola's just going to overthink and the attack's going to die out. But he scores an absolute banger. And then second half comes on. Vitinha once again to Barcola. And this time Barcola sees Gonçalo. He's like, head nah, I'm scoring this. And scores an absolute banger. But now let's come to the individual talking points. I will make a separate video discussing the injuries and so on. So we just briefly go over them. Obviously, Paris Saint-Germain, extremely unfortunate. We already had the Zididou out, Ousmane Dembélé out, Fabien Ruiz still, coming back to his best level. And then we got 3 injuries again this game. Extremely unfortunate to Lucas Beraldo, Kangili, and Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. Still, no reports have come out how severe the injuries are, so we'll have to wait in that. But it didn't look that bad. I don't think it's going to be Zididou with 4 weeks, Ousmane Dembélé 6 weeks out. I don't think it's going to be that bad. Talking about the players, Lucas Chevalier. 3 clean sheets in his 5 games at Paris Saint-Germain. 3 out of 4 in Ligue 1. Very great. He wasn't tested that much apart from the set piece. Great save from Chevalier with his chest, just like the penalty save versus Toulouse. And it's a good start from Chevalier. He's looking more comfortable. Sometimes he's trying, long throws to start up attacks really well. So I like that from Chevalier. And it's a good start from Chevalier. What I've said about Chevalier and Zabarni as well, when it comes to the goalkeeper and the defense, will be more tested in bigger games. Now we had a little bit of a tougher game now versus Arsenal. We'll soon have Atalanta, who are very good offensively. Will be another good test for Lucas Chevalier and Zabarni. Talk about Lucas Hernandez. I mean, he got cooked by Thauvin in a moment. I thought it was going to be a penalty for Arsenal. And I like Lucas a lot. He was so good for us that first season, but I just don't think so. I was like, let's have a summer. Maybe Lucas comes back better and everything. He had the extra vacation and everything, but I think I might have to give up on Lucas Hernandez and he will have to leave next summer. Going from one Lucas to another, Beraldo obviously got injured, but I mean, he got cooked when he got injured, and he obviously costed us that mistake, which nearly costed us a goal in the beginning of the game. And look, what I feel about Beraldo is, he's a project player. came here as a youngster, inexperienced, and trying to build up his stocks. But it's just too many mistakes and weaknesses and everything. And yes, there's still a lot of time left for the season. I mean, Lucas Hernandez is more like physically it's over. I think he needs to go to Saudi. I think it's over. I don't think he can play at the top level. Yes, he can go maybe to a lower table team, but I don't think he would do that. He has crazy wages as well. Beraldo, who's still young, he can still improve and so on. But I'm just seeing way too many mistakes in his game. I'm not seeing the projection I want to see. You want to see a projection like this, but with Beraldo, it's like this. He has a couple of good games and then a huge mistake, which makes me lose so much confidence in him. And then again, he builds up his repertoire again, and then it's a huge mistake. So gotta get them out of his game. Hopefully he recovers back well. But yeah, Zabarny, there was one instance where he gave the ball away. I didn't like that. Apart from that, Zabarny was really great this game. I mean, when he cleared it, when they were supposed to have a tap in Arsenal at the back post on the right-hand side, I mean, that was just absolutely brilliant from Zabarny. And what I see with Zabarny, extremely experienced. He plays like an old head. He always waits for the opponent to do something. He reads the game so well. It's basically like a Thiago Silva profile-wise. Good defending in space as well. Tried some cheeky long balls to Achraf Hakimi up in the attack. So I'm already loving Zabarny, and it's understandable why Paris Saint-Germain pushed so long and gave Bournemouth so much money for Ilya Zabarny. Achraf Hakimi, we gotta be honest, he has had a questionable start to the season so far. Paris Saint-Germain have played 5 games, and I haven't been happy with Achraf Hakimi in a single game. That's because of the high expectation I have of Achraf Hakimi. I mean, this is a top 3 Ballon d'Or player last season. But Achraf Hakimi played the most games for PSG last season, most minutes, played in the entirety of the Club World Cup. So maybe it's just that rustiness he got to get out of. We got to rest him a little bit more, and he comes back to his fully best. Because I know Achraf Hakimi, how great he is. But still, even in this game, he wasn't bad. He was just less impactful than I usually expect from Hakimi. And obviously, without Desiree Doué and Dembele, who know Hakimi, know his game, is going to be less. Moving on to the midfield, Vitinha, the best midfielder in the world. The match with the player with the highest rating, the player with the most passes, the player with the most chances created, and 2 assists from Vitinha. Second one, it's a little bit fugazi. The first one is absolutely beautiful. Takes the touch despite being pressed. And there was so many moments where he's just toying with the Arsenal defenders, putting the ball above him, underneath him, like Vitinha, man, he's so good. He's so good. He's so great. Best midfielder in the world. I just cannot say anything more. We have been using Vitinha a bit too much this season. I think he started every single PSG game so far this season, and every single Portugal game as well. But he's a maestro. Vitinha, the new Xavi Hernandez, the new Andres Iniesta, whatever you want to say, Vitinha is absolutely him. What a majestical performance from Vitinha in this game. Warren Zaïre-Emery. Is he back? Completed the most dribbles, won the most duels. Those are the stats we want to see for Warren. It's the drive and it's the duels. And that's exactly what we saw from Warren Zaïre-Emery. He's playing more like the best version of himself. We don't want to be too quick. He's had a cheeky start to the season I've been happy with. This is his best game so far this season. Warren, I hope you're back. For your sake, for our sake, for everyone's sake, man. Very happy for Warren Zaïre-Emery. It's a good game. It's a 7.5 out of 10. And that's what I want. It's the baby steps so he can come back to his best, especially now with the injury deficiencies that we have and everything. Kangili obviously got injured. I should be happier with Kangili. Kangili played this game in his central position against Arsenal, not the strongest position. But I expected more from Kangili. I always excuse when he has a mid-ish performance because he plays off the wing. It's not his preferred position, but this time he played in the midfield. And I expect better. I wouldn't say he had a bad game, but I just expect better from Kangili. You finally got the opportunity you've been waiting for, and you don't perform that well. Or don't perform at the level I expect out of you, Kangili. But maybe he needs more games there. We'll have to wait and see. Kangili obviously got injured after taking a long shot. Hopefully, Kangili recovers well and comes back as quickly as possible because he's a midfielder and an attacker, which we're missing a lot of players. Khvicha Kvaratskhelia quickly, injury early on, couldn't play on. Hopefully, it's not that big. Khvicha Kvaratskhelia will be a big miss, unlike Beraldo and Kangili, so hopefully he will be back as soon as possible. Gonçalo Ramos. If anyone watched the live watch along, you would have seen the absolute rage I had towards Gonçalo Ramos. He was being breastfed by Bradley Barcola and other players. But he just isn't that good. I'm so tired of Gonçalo Ramos, especially when he starts games. The only time Gonçalo, 70% of his good games is off the bench, 20 minutes against tired legs when there's acres of space and nobody's really caring because PSG is already up by 2-3-0. But this is a game where Gonçalo this was the game, I'm like, cheeky game for Gonçalo. And it's not like he didn't get any chances. He got 2 good opportunities. He also got 1 good right here. Could have probably done some other good stuff. His link-up play was horrendous. His first touch was horrendous. His passing was horrendous. We gotta get rid of this player because this is not something new. This is not like, oh, we're watching Gonçalo, he's good, and then bomb, this game happens and he's completely garbage. No, this is the usual Gonçalo Ramos. I don't understand, because the biggest reason Gonçalo hasn't left the club isn't because PSG doesn't want to sell him. It's not because Gonçalo doesn't want to leave. No, Gonçalo even was working with Jorge Mendes to find a new club in the summer. It's because Paris Saint-Germain paid so much for Gonçalo and they don't want to lose a lot of money on that. So they're expecting like 50, 60 million on him, which absolutely nobody's going to pay. That's why we're stuck with him. Luckily, it's low wages. We can still move on if we just compensate for a lower price. But this dude gotta leave the club. And Bradley Barcola. No Dembele. No Doué. No Khvicha. No Kang. I mean, no Gonçalo, who's basically ghosting. And Bradley Barcola, he won us this game. As we just saw, we only created 1 big chance this game. And both of Bradley Barcola's goals came from non-big chances. Absolute individual brilliance from Bradley Barcola. Ballon d'Or-esque performance. This is what Ballon d'Or is, that individual brilliance, carrying your team. And, you know, I thought it was going to be him or Khvicha. Khvicha got obviously injured, so he gets that excuse. But Bradley Barcola stepped up when we needed him. Big game versus Atalanta coming up. That would obviously be a bigger game for Barcola to step up in. But absolutely love it from Bradley Barcola. His dribbling looked good. His passing, everything looked crisp, looked confident. And taking those shots, you got to be extremely confident. Love it from Bradley Barcola. Moving on quickly to the cheeky bench here. Mbaye. We're seeing the baby improvements. Very good game from Mbaye. Obviously, a lot to improve on, but I'm seeing the constant improvement from Ibrahima Mbaye and the hunger. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me even if he starts in the Atalanta game with all the injuries that we have. Seny Mayulu, cheeky entry, obviously coming back from his recent injury. Nuno Mendes didn't really do that much. Same with Fabian and João Neves. That's been it for the full preview of Paris Saint-Germain versus Arsenal. Good victory, sitting top of the table, building a little bit of a cushion. And with a very rotated lineup. I mean, Chevalier, Achraf Hakimi, Vitinha, and Khvicha Kvaratskhelia are the only starters when we play all of our best players. We rested Pacho, we rested Marquinhos, we rested Nuno Mendes, we rested Fabian, we rested João Neves, and Dembele Desiree Doué obviously out injured. That's been it from boy PSG, and so hopefully you guys have enjoyed this quick review. I'll be posting the goal reactions, I'll be posting my full thoughts on the injuries and everything, and how long they're going to be potentially out for and everything, and then obviously the post-match podcast. That's been it from boy PSG, and so hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video, and as usual, allez, Paris.